And as always, we're going to be looking for accurate context, good risk management, and always exercising good patience.
Everybody who's traded has gone through periods of time where their strategy hasn't worked.
Where if not a hard stop, you should reevaluate the trades you're in based on time.
That's what we're here for, is to put ourselves in the best success. A trading routine does that, builds that habit, lets you know what to work on, what to reflect on, and what to improve on the next day.
All right, welcome to Make HOAG Money, the afternoon session. Hope everybody's having a good trading day. This is me. I'm the senior performance coach here at Top Step. 40 years experience in the futures industry. Well, like 30 as an active trader. I traded on the floor of the Mercantile Exchange for 20 years and migrated to screen trading in 2009. And been with Top Step since 2011. This is the CFTC disclaimer. It states that there's a lot of risk in futures trading, and we know that. These are leveraged products. We could lose more than we have in our account. We should only be using risk capital to trade with, which is one of the things we love about Top Step, is you're not going to have to put the risk capital up. We are. Succeed in the trading combine, you'll get funded. You don't have to put up your own cash and put that cash at this risk. This is for educational purposes only. We're not suggesting the purchase or sale of anything here. Of course, past performance is not indicative of future results. Well, let's bring up the trading platform and see what we're looking at. I'm still looking for somebody who would like to chat today. You got a couple of folks here that I know are willing. What are we doing today? What are we looking at? I think we're kind of looking at an opportunity to the downside, but we're going to have a hard time finding good trade location, it seems. Will today was giving you heart palpitations. Ray, good morning. Robert, Daniel, good morning, Rooster. Jimmy Decker, it's good to see everybody. What are we looking for? How are we going to get into this market if we're going to do anything today? I mean, we have some pretty stiff negative delta, but we've had negative delta all day long. Negative delta on the way up and increasing negative delta on the way down. I almost feel like we want to just close our eyes and sell, but I can't do that. What are we thinking? Anybody want to chat today? Just raise your hand or let me know. Of course, that's only on the Zoom side. I didn't do the rules. Let's do the rules. I forgot about those. Can't forget about that. So rules for Make HOAG Money are, of course, kindness and respect are expected above everything. There's a million ways to look at markets and a million opinions. It's what makes them so good. We're going to have a couple of people enabled to talk. We're all going to be involved in the decision making in any trades we take here today. Context is going to be, of course, helpful. We're going to use chat rooms to discuss trades, of course. We're going to focus on the MES for opportunities. Not going to trade just to trade. Not taking losing trades. That's meant to be, of course, a joke. And feedback is, of course, vital. And we're going to be looking for some feedback soon because it won't be too long and we will be doing Make HOAG Money pretty much every day with special guest hosts. We're going to see if we can't find a way to be more YouTube friendly. Rooster. And, as Top Step TV starts to kind of roll out, you're going to see a lot more live trading from Michael, from me, from guest people coming on. We're going to have some influencers. We're going to have a lot of folks, a lot of opportunities for us to spend some time together looking at opportunities. I am currently short as well, personally, but I'm looking at the trade location we have here, and I'm not all that excited about it. If we're only looking for value low from yesterday, we're kind of running out of juice here. 68 value low. I like it. I like it a lot. I like the way you're thinking. And it also brings us to a reasonable potential point of control in the lower distribution from Friday's session. We've fallen into repair. Nice job, Jay. 5 points of risk on that. Not bad. Leverage in at 82. Join us for the next episode of Tori Sleeps Through Trading, right? She'll be one that's going to be with us quite a bit. Well, the delta divergence that we experienced today was similar to yesterday, similar to Friday, really. We had some pretty stiff delta divergence all day, and price kept moving higher. Today, we had delta divergence, and it looks like Elvis has left the building. We've gotten much more aggressive to the short side. Is this delta correct? The 27, it's close to correct. So, yeah, we are getting some pretty deep negative delta here. And I don't see the buyers coming in to scoop this up at this time anymore. This is, I believe, weekends traders, but we had the delta divergence on the way up on Friday, which added 30,000 in open interest. That's longer time frame buyers. Then we have the negative delta that we had the better part of the day today, and that's also probably longer time frame buyers. If the longer time frame has adjusted inventory up here, they're I'm sure that they're adjusting inventory somewhere else. They're never just outright long or short. These are hedges. And if you noticed on Friday, 42.55 was weekly kickoff high. And these are areas where I look for longer time frame traders to adjust inventory. Now, it pulled back below it a little bit, but it didn't spend long there, and the market has given us the opportunity to, it gave us the opportunity to see the market rally higher and on negative delta. So the shorter time frame traders ended up too short yesterday. They capitulated before the end of the day because they want to go home flat. Today, no overnight inventory. We end up with a delta divergence to the upside, but it's 1 point today. It's like Elvis left the building, right? So when Elvis leaves the building, it leaves the shorter time frame traders to do what they're going to do. And it seems like there's some pretty good selling coming in here in shorter time frame traders. If they are too short, then yeah, we may see a pullback here by the end of the day. But I think that we are, we're looking at some pretty good participation and potentially some momentum to the downside here. Now we've just put in a week low. Take a look at this on the TPO chart. Okay. Well, low excess high, but now we've got a weak low at the low here. This is going to get taken out here relatively quickly. My target is the same target as J. Looking to see if we can get to the low of value down here, which to me is close enough for a repair situation. Now, as our good friend Ben likes to remind us, he's not here today, but sometimes a week low is just the market is too short to continue the move to the downside, at least for now. But for right now, this is presenting as an unfinished downside auction. We have zero excess at the low. We barely have excess at the high. But if you were long on this move up here and it just would not continue, wouldn't move, hopefully you got out and ended up getting short at some point. Hey, Cags, how you doing? Is that Jimmy Cagney? So what are we doing? Anybody having an idea for any kind of an execution here? I mean, I know we've kind of missed the the bigger opportunities here. But I'm willing to check anything. I'm willing to try anything once. Cags, all right. Because I'm a frog, see? Robert was looking at VWAP but missed it. It's all the way up there. $42.67 value, TPO value low from Friday. True and divine. Thanks for chiming in. Do we like that trade? Do we see if we can get a move in the opposite direction if we finish the downside move to value low? What do we think? I'm going to send a poll. So the question is, do we look at a long against Friday's, I should say, value area low? I'm going to send it here in YouTube as well. Long at Friday VAL, or stands for value area low, down here. Daniel's saying he doesn't think we're gonna have the opportunity to get there because we're kind of running out of time, and that may be true. We'll see what we think here, though. Looking pretty positive. I think people like the idea. True and divine. Barry Books went along at 42.74. Nice location there. I mean, we did close out these single TPOs. We got a weak low, but we may be a little bit too short in short time frame to continue this break. All right, here we go. Let's see how many of you voted. Only 11 votes? A quarter of you on YouTube? Everybody sleeping? Here's the Zoom meeting. We got a little bit better participation. There's the 78% yes. 81% yes on YouTube. So we're going to put in order. What's the risk? 66. 67. We'll just put a stop in here for the heck of it. Barry is out at 280. Nice job. I am also out. I am flat and I'm done personally for the day. Had a pretty decent day. Had that delta divergence kind of keeping me long, and I got out, tried a short near the high, and that was a pretty decent opportunity. 42.58 stop limit. I got 9.75. Here we go. We got 9 points of risk on this. Les says no long. Yeah, Daniel, right? Yeah. Especially being a Monday. Just as soon as that Delta started coming in, I said, there's still buyers here. Let's see if we can join them for a little bit of a ride. And they just kind of petered out on the high. I don't know what it was, but it was a pretty cheap trade and turned out to be a good trade. I got to tell you, folks, so many of the best trades I've made have been purely because they were cheap. I didn't have to risk much. Joe, hang on a second. I can tell you. My personal account's on a different computer, but I can bring up the trade log here. So my first trade was a long at 42.98. Not very good trade location. Oh, actually that was a short. Then I took a long 91. That didn't work. I had a long at 42.91.75. That was a pretty decent trade location. That was a good one. But the best one was the short end of the day. 95.75. Got short against the point of control here. I got out of a long up here. Where was that? 03 even is where I got out of a long. And then short. Down here. And caught the move. And I'm not usually one that gets in at the point of control. Not my thing. But today, with the Delta continuing to pile in and finally actually getting some price action that direction, I was able to manage that risk. Greg, we were looking at it. Somebody came up with the idea to look at value area low yesterday for a long. We're not long yet. Always makes me, gives me a giggle when somebody's like, we're doing what? Are you crazy? $78.25, which is the pivot. Use pivot points, huh? No, we're still seeing negative delta piling in here. Maybe right though. Joe, we're going to give it a try. What's our risk? The low of the day? You normally take 5 points, so we're going to shorten up our risk a little bit. Greg, what are your thoughts? Oh, here we go. It's coming for us. Greg is short. Ah, got it. Greg has a short bias. I'm for reals is steering clear. There's a lot of stop runs. Oh yeah, well, yeah. I mean, you look up here. It was kind of a whipsaw day. It wasn't a big range. James wants to see what happens at 85. 85. Got a little bit of liquidity up there, huh? You talking about that low volume node here, Joe? Okay, so Will's like, yeah, if we get back into value, he's more comfortable getting long. Yeah, I kind of dislike chop too. Well, it's all right. Well, we don't have anything on right now, but we were looking at one of the suggestions was along at 72.60 or 42.67. We had another look at possibly along at 42.78. We got to stop outside of the range here, but I think that's kind of rich for that. Joe, yeah, we can call today a P-shaped profile. Yep. And it'll be really interesting to see what the open interest does tomorrow, because a P-shaped profile is usually indicative of short covering. But if we added open interest like we added open interest on Friday, It's new longs. Well, I feel you. Some folks kind of wondering if it's going to take a run and go back to VWAP. Will saying a lot of shorts. Return back to value could trigger some short covering. I don't know. We're going to try it. Yeah, I couldn't get through that low volume node. We got a long, we're working a bid here at 42.78 quarter on a suggestion. We are at currently overnight low. Probably all algo is here, right, Joe? I mean, we're up against another low volume node here. We got to try and find something. But we also don't want to trade just to trade. I don't want to chase it. We're gonna go on risk management to find opportunities. $79 quarter liquidity. There it is. Kind of strange, Joe, isn't it? 79 quarter is the liquidity. Doesn't it seem that they're on some of the bigger, rounder numbers? Oh, Nasdaq, welcome. We haven't done anything yet. We're still waiting to see what we can find here. Not yet. We've hardly moved. Yeah, Jay. Yeah, I'm just saying, right? It feels like a consolidation. Like it's just going to sit here because we're trying to do something. It's all right, Joe. It happens. Nice job, Nastic. Here's our low volume node here again, Joe. Casey short at 85. It's like watching paint dry here. Yeah, Capital Preservation Monday, 100%. It is, isn't it, Craig? We try and have a good time here, but market hasn't been particularly gratifying for us today, has it? Well, appreciate everybody hanging out. NASDAQ is a hell of a lot more exciting. Yeah, unfortunately, it gives me heart palpitations. It was just up against a high. The market, we had lots of negative delta up there, but it just didn't seem to have anything left in it. And it was a cheap trade. I mean, I could risk 3 points on that. So it was, more as much just because it was a cheap trade than anything else. But I'd sat here for 2 hours looking for this market to continue this push to the upside, and it just wouldn't happen. And it was, it was probably easy to kind of feel that way because we had all the negative delta, large part of it anyway. It was still pretty negative up here. A little bit of a capitulation, and then bam. Just sat there for an hour, hour and a half, and then it finally started coming apart. Sure, Joe. You want to show it? Want me to bring you in? All right, Joe's going to come in and show us his book map. Linda, nice job. Linda made her goal in step 1. Awesome. Great job. Hey, Joe, how are you?
Good.
Good. You ready? Share away. Yeah, I got to get somebody to commit to a session on Bookmap. We got a couple of folks that do it. I know Joe has done pretty much a whole session watching Bookmap with us before, but can't ask him to do it all the time.
Well, it's kind of fun, especially when things are quiet. As you can see, at 85, I know someone's short up there.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the current order book right here.
Mm-hmm.
And when I made the mistake, I was reading the session order session profile. But anyway, here's the order book, 85. We got 195 contracts. So as you can see, with a histogram here, that's a pretty sizable, comparatively basis. It's pretty sizable liquidity. Now we're heading into this liquidity here, 79 and a quarter, which we've been talking about. And looks like they traded. No, they didn't. They traded at 79.75, so they never did get to that. Now sometimes what they'll do is they'll pull. When they get close, they'll pull, and that's good information to know. They're not serious. But if they trade and they're serious, that's good information too.
Yeah, just flashing.
Yeah, they're hold on, sorry.
Mm-hmm. No, take your time.
Mute him. So anyway, yeah, we're consolidating here since 3:15 Eastern. That's it. Nothing exciting here either.
Yeah, look at that book. There's nothing like between, what is that, 79 and 85. There's like almost nothing there.
Now, some people use Bookmap to scalp, and now this consolidation we're stuck in since 3:15, and you see this is the current screen. What's on the screen profile? Okay, right here.
Right.
Here's the session profile.
Right.
Right here is the current screen, and what they'll do is they'll trade this range. Okay, so they're looking for one side of the current profile to the other side of the current profile. And good scalpers got some pretty good trades in here. I don't trade that way, but it's an interesting way to some people use the Bookmap.
Uh-huh.
And I know you're not a scalper.
No, I don't have the energy for that.
But these levels like 85 tend to be magnets. That's where the liquidity is, and that's where the market seeks liquidity. So they end up being pretty good targets. If you're long, this would be a target. If you're short, this would be a target. And they tend to be pretty good targets. Now, there was a Sean that was here last week that uses Bookmap.
Yes.
I think he was on YouTube.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. It was Sean.
Yeah, his name was Sean. I have the Think or Swim free version.
Right.
So it's very, very stripped down. I think he is a subscriber to Bookmap.
To Bookmap.
Got all kinds of bells and whistles. Much better than what I have. But
Got it.
It just serves my purpose.
Sure. Yeah, and I'll see if we can't find him or scare him up one of these days and get him in. Especially once Top Step TV starts, we'll be looking to get a lot of folks on there and see what they're looking at. And
see, this liquidity just came in the book, right here.
yeah.
Right. It traded or they pulled it. They probably did both. So they don't go to jail. They trade some of it and then pull the rest of it.
Right. Yeah. They let it one or two trade and then they pull it.
Exactly, because it's, as you know, HOAG, you can tell us more about it than I know, but it's supposed to be against the law, literally, right?
Yep.
To spoof, but it's done all day long.
Yeah. I mean, how do you how do you prove that they didn't want the trade and then decided against it, right?
Right.
Kind of hard to do.
What a lot of them do is, and you guys probably did it in the pit, is that they'll put fake liquidity up here to drive it down.
Mm-hmm.
And then the same traders down here buy it. he or she are trying to manipulate the market down so
Right.
they can drive the book right into their order.
Right.
And then they go long, and then they scale out on the other side of the trading range.
Mm-hmm.
And there are algos that are scripted just to do that all day long. But if you look on these little moves up, most of them are positive deltas, and that kind of tips you off that maybe this is going to break out to the long side and maybe trade this 85 liquidity. I would never trade that, but that's the way I read it.
Right. Yeah, you got those bubbles are locals or retail traders buying the highs and selling the lows.
Exactly. Yeah.
We don't want to do that.
No.
That would be bad, right?
Yeah. Not our style.
Nah.
Not our style to make money.
Yes.
No, I know you're a great trader. I've learned a lot from you in terms of having patience and staying with a trade.
Well, I don't know if I'd say a great trader. I've been, if it's happened to somebody, it's happened to me.
Right.
Been through the ringer a few times.
Maybe I've asked you this before. If so, I'd like to know the answer because I can't remember it. What is your edge?
What's my edge?
How would you describe your edge?
My edge is, I don't even think about taking a trade until I've established a point of invalidation, and then I base my entry off of that point of invalidation. But I don't even think about taking a trade unless it's 2-to-1 or better reward over risk.
Yeah.
I don't even bother. Now, if it's,
Now, HOAG, this traded up here, which is kind of interesting. They didn't pull. So that was someone that made a sale. They might be closing a long trade. We
Sure.
don't know which way what their purpose is, but
Right.
we know it traded. They didn't pull it. And if you look over 85, 1,700. In the current screen, 60, almost 1,700 contracts traded there. Altogether.
It was probably all short-term traders who are now long getting spit out.
Right now.
Yep.
Yeah. Because these are negative deltas.
Yep.
The red bubbles. And you see, this is filling in up here. It looks like.
Yes.
This looks like this is filling in, and now the algos are showing up. All this inventory down here.
Yeah,
They just pulled.
Pickpockets.
In here pulled a lot of orders here.
Right.
Inventory.
It's a fascinating tool.
I love it. But what I love is the current, the screen profiles. You pick up some decent reversion to the mean type trades.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you just see where the low liquidity is, and
yeah, and even on the larger, on the session profile, this distribution here, on a higher time frame, you can trade it. Here to here.
Mm-hmm.
If you go back during the day.
What's the middle profile? Is that just the
That's
dome?
the current order book.
Got it.
Okay,
Goodness.
so this liquidity here at 86, 178 contracts, and here's the histogram that shows you the size of it visually, and then here's the number of contracts that's in the book. It's 178, and looks like they're adding to it above and below. And the other thing I like is this yellow, not that, let's see where I can find it. Oh, can't find it. Oh, here it is. This yellow dotted line up here is the
Developing point of
developing
control.
point of control. And that's very helpful if you got a trade on, say, you're long, and all of a sudden this starts dropping.
Yeah.
You know, that's warning, Will Robinson.
Yes.
kind of stuff.
Danger, Will Robinson.
Yeah, only you and I are old enough.
Right? Oh my goodness. Lost in space.
So we don't have to keep this up. I just thought it might be fun. Things are quiet. No one's on with you.
No, that's
You gotta
great.
keep the
Thank you.
company and
We appreciate
So
that,
what's
Joe.
that?
We appreciate that. A lot of
yeah, we
folks.
tried to exit this distribution. And we came right to the edge of it, which is a thin spot on a small time frame, not a micro time frame. Because we're looking at a micro time frame, not your favorite time frame.
Right.
So this is really a micro distribution. And so we went to the edge of it, and which basically was kind of the edge of the session profile too. If you look at the session profile over here, you know, the big distribution, it got to the edge, and what's above it is the low volume node, or thin spot, I like to call it, but if you want. So where you run into resistance sometimes.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything worth doing.
No, not my trade. Look at the deltas.
Uh,
800. You know, you had almost 1,000 contract trade right here at
and
82.25.
that bubble there, huh?
Yeah, and look at the positive deltas trading above it. So we're going right back. We're going right back to the 85 liquidity, which is no longer in the book. It traded, but they did not come back. Sometimes they'll come back if they're serious. But it's interesting how they come back and check these levels, right?
Oh, yeah.
HOAG?
How often does that happen? I mean, you put your trade on, goes your way, comes back, checks your level again, and then goes.
Yeah, right.
These markets are like poltergeists. They know what scares you.
Well, one of those calls was my doctor, so I better
Oh,
scoot along.
okay, Joe.
There are priorities, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you very much.
Thank you, Joe. Thanks a lot. Have a good one. Say hello to your doctor for us.
I will.
God bless you.
Yeah, thank you.
All righty. Just not a lot of opportunity. The timing of this afternoon make HOAG money is so iffy. Sometimes it's good, sometimes not so much. Let's see what we have here. Small imbalance, 114 million to the sell side, 377 million to the buy side. That 250 level here. Just nothing. Well, at least we didn't lose anything. Yeah, I see nothing, right? Right? Well, let's just call this a session. Tomorrow morning, we're doing the market prep and the early session of Make HOAG Money. Maybe we'll have better luck then. But there are going to be some changes coming with the market prep and Make HOAG Money, and we're hoping that you're going to like it. And it's going to be a kind of a slow rollout. It already has been kind of a slow rollout, but lots more good content, hopefully, and helpful content coming at you very soon. So, good. I enjoyed the camaraderie as well. Thank you all very much for joining me today, and we'll see what we can find mañana. Trade well, everyone. No reflection today. Tomorrow we'll do a reflection. Usually don't do that when we do the Make HOAG Money, the late session. But we are going to be kind of doing a power hour with Top Step TV as soon as we get to it. Have a great day, everyone.